Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, here we are with our Tuesday project, our first project of the week, and we're going to make a birthday cake card, and I'll show you how we do it as we go along. It's ever so simple even I can do it. Now we're going to make a layered cake, however many layers you want to make, that's entirely up to you, but I'm making 3 layers. There's not going to be any posts or anything like that. It's not going to be like a wedding cake, but mine, it doesn't really matter what size square, well, they're not squares actually, they're rectangles, but whatever size shape you want, as long as, if you want to do it no bigger than a 5x7 card. This is a 3.5 by 2.5 inches, but you can make yours smaller. If you're making a bigger card, you can make them bigger. As long as they're all the same size, it doesn't matter. And you will need 1 white or off-white, and you will need 1 coloured for the icing. Now this is exactly the same. I used a die for this and I just cut it in half, and I'll show you what we do with that a little later on the video. So we'll take that to one side for a moment. Now what we do need to do is we need to put some colour on it, and again it's very simple. You don't have to worry if you've never done colouring before. If you think, oh, I'm no good at colouring, you don't need to be, don't worry. So what we need to do, and you don't need to be too neat about this either, it doesn't have to be dead straight. In fact, it's probably more authentic if you don't do it dead straight. So we're going to do 2 lines to begin with. One there, slightly wavy, not very wavy, but slightly wavy. And another one there, so that we have a little gap. And the gap is for the cream. And then all we do is we take our pen. This is just an ordinary alcohol pen, nothing particularly special about it. So it's a pack, in fact it's a pack I got quite inexpensively in the works. They do a fabulous one, they do a big pack for a very reasonable price. I've had it so long, and I've had these for ages. I haven't had to change them. They've lasted me ages. So we're just going to very quickly colour this, and you'll do this on all 3 of your pieces in exactly the same way. So you just very quickly and very simply, well, you can take your time if you want to, but oops, we're going to ignore that. And then if you want to, just to add a bit of colour, you can put some jam through the middle. So again, just take a pen with a brush tip. And again, just press slightly. Don't worry too much. Don't worry about it not being straight, because jam quite often isn't. And just pop it through. As long as you can still see a bit of the white for the cream, you'll be absolutely fine. So that's all you need to do for that. So that's that part done. And you do that for all 3 of your pieces. So you'll have, to begin with, you'll have 3 pieces, oops, sorry, that look like that. And you need to make the icing. And what I've done with the icing, I've done 1, but I'm going to show you how to do it with the other 2. All you do is you take a pair of scissors and you cut a wavy line. But I'll put that to one side for a moment, because what we need to do, I need to show you a trick, because obviously you don't want them all the same height. So just measure in a little bit with a pencil on your icing. It doesn't have to be pink, you can have any colour you like, or of course you don't have to have icing at all if you don't want to. But take it in, I haven't measured it, but it's roughly, probably just under ½ inch. So lay that over your second layer of your cake. In fact, you know what, it might be better to use a long pair of scissors, because then you can cut straight down. So put your scissors on your mark that you've drawn and just cut straight down like that. And then you'll have both pieces the same size. And then we'll just pop that, in fact we'll put both of those to one side for a moment. And then all you need to do, as we've got these scissors, oh, go away. No, not you. Everyone's after me today. So what you do is you just take your icing bit and you just, it doesn't matter if it's one's a bit higher than the other or lower than the other. So you just do your icing like that. Then bring back your piece that you've cut. I think it was that piece. And just pop it on there like that, just to make sure you're happy with how it looks. And if you are, in fact, what I'm going to do with mine is, I think, for me anyway, That's a little bit too deep. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and cut along the top. It's a good idea to keep the top edge straight, but the rest of it doesn't need to be too straight. So that's all we do with that. And then what you do exactly the same with your other piece. So lay it, oh, let's just move the debris out of the way. Lay it over your original piece. Take your scissors, cut along your mark. So cut through the whole lot. You cut through your cake piece and your icing piece, your icing layer and your cake layer. Move the debris to one side, put that to one side for a moment. And then again, you just cut a wavy line. You can go up higher if you want to, you can come down lower. You can do this however you like. You can make drips. And then again, just have a look. And yeah, again, I was just looking at the other ones, just slightly off camera. I'm just going to cut a little bit off like that. And we are all set. Now all we've got to do is make our cake up, which will be ever so easy. Let me just put my scissors away. So we are making a 5x7 card. And all I've done is I've taken the piece, I've made a 5x7 card, and I've just put some packing paper on it. I've glued some packing paper to it. So that's all I've done for that. And so we need to do this in ascending order. So take your largest layer of cake and put some adhesive on the back. I'm going to use red runner tape because that's what I've got on my desk, but you can use glue if you want to. Ordinary PVA style glue will be fine for this. And I'm going to put it right at the bottom, like that. And I'm going to do the same to my icing layer. Now, you can put fruit on the top of this if you want to, on the top layer. You can put candles, you can go as mad as you like, or you can keep it as simple as you like. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to keep mine fairly simple. So we're going to put that on there like that. Then we'll do this in real time together so you can see it building up. So just very quickly, pop some adhesive on the back. And again, just make sure you've got it fairly central before you stick it down. So we'll do it like that. And again, put some adhesive on the back of your icing and stick it down, and you're building up a really nice birthday cake. I wouldn't mind a birthday cake like that. So I'm just going to move that over so you can see. So one more piece. Put some adhesive on the back. Line it up. It could have been a little bit smaller, but never mind. Doesn't matter. As long as it's smaller, it doesn't really matter how much. And then we can just pop some adhesive on the back of our last piece of icing. And put that up there like that. And there we have a very delicious looking birthday cake. Now, as I say, if you want to, if you've got some stamps or dies of little fruit pieces, strawberries or whatever you've got, you can decorate this if you want to, but I'm keeping mine simple. I'm not going to put any more onto it. The only thing I am going to put onto it is a sentiment. And in my sentiment drawer, I found one that says, "Today is your day." And with that wonderful cake, it would be. So if you don't want, you could put that on the bottom if you wanted to, and you could put some candles on the top, but I'm not going to put candles on for this one because the person I'm sending it to won't want to be reminded of how old she is. Ladies don't like being reminded of their age. So I'm going to put that at the top and simply put, "Today is your day." So there we go. There is a layered birthday cake card. That's probably what we'll call it. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you do it yourself. Have a go yourself. And if you do, please do remember to pop over and join us at our Crafty Capers with Dawn Facebook group. We'd love to see your version. So if you've done one before, or if you've never done one, do pop over and show us. We'd love to see it. They're a lovely bunch, they really are. And I will be back on Friday with a new video for you. In the meantime, take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.